Welcome back. We are in Genesis chapter 12. Truth is, we already read this once and I wasn't recording, so we're going to read it a second time. Let's see if I can trim the fat off of this a little bit this time. We're reading Abram. We're jumping right into it. This has got to be one of the most talked about guys this day and age. In 2026, this particular passage is all the buzz. So let's get into it. Now, the Lord said to Abram, "Go forth from your country and from your relatives and from your father's house to a land which I will show you, and I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. And I will bless those who bless you, and the one who curses you I will curse, and in you all families of the earth will be blessed." Pin in that. God's going to double down on this. He's going to also expound upon it. Pin in this. So Abram went forth as the Lord had spoken to him, and Lot went with him. Now Abram was 75 years old when he departed from Haran. Abram took Sarai his wife and Lot his nephew, and all their possessions which they had accumulated, and the persons which they had acquired in Haran, and they set out for the land of Canaan. Thus they came to the land of Canaan. Abram passed through the land as far as the site of Shechem and the oak of Moreh. Now the Canaanite was in the land. The Lord appeared to Abram and said, "To your descendants I will give this land." So he built an altar there to the Lord who had appeared to him. Then he proceeded from there to the mountain on the east of Bethel and pitched his tent with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. And there he built an altar to the Lord and called upon the name of the Lord. Abram journeyed on, continuing toward the Negev. Now there was a famine in the land, so Abram went down to Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was severe in the land. It came about when he came near to Egypt, that he said to Sarai his wife, "See now that I know you're beautiful, a beautiful woman, and when the Egyptians see you, they will say, 'This is his wife,' and they will kill me, but they will let you live. So please say that you are my sister, so that it may go well with me because of you, and that I may live on account of you." It came about when Abram came into Egypt, the Egyptians saw that the woman was very beautiful. Pharaoh's officials saw her and praised her to Pharaoh, and the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house. Therefore, he treated Abram well for her sake, and gave him sheep and oxen and donkeys and male and female servants and female donkeys and camels. But the Lord struck Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abram's wife. Then Pharaoh called Abram and said, "What is this you have done to me? Why did you not tell me that she was your wife? Why did you say, 'She's my sister,' so that I took her for my wife? Now then, here is your wife, take her and go." Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and they escorted him away with his wife and all that belonged to him. Now, this is a commonality when we're talking about Israel as a whole. We'll start here and we'll work our way backwards this time because this is fresh right here. So we're seeing a few things here. One, this is going to pop up. We already saw it a little bit in Daniel. If you didn't watch or read with us through Daniel, read just at least the beginning of Daniel. We're going to see this pop up where pagan nations, pagan homies that are out there, have more reverence and have a moral compass. The flag is going off. Oh, red flag. Oh, something's not right. Your God is doing something to me, and he's real, and I fear him more than the guys who actually believe in that God. So we saw this in Daniel with they got taken into captivity for the worshiping the Baals and the Ashtoreths and stuff, and in their captivity by the Babylonians, Nebuchadnezzar, the ultimate Babylonian king, was like, "Your God's the real God, and I will rip anyone who says anything about him negative to shreds, and their families, Everybody dies if they say anything bad about the God of Israel. He was putting respect on God's name. Israel wasn't even doing that. That's why they were in captivity to begin with. And then we see the same thing with Daniel and Darius. So same kind of deal. Same thing happens. Pagan has more reverence and more moral compass and more like, what are you doing? Why are you lying about this? You're worshiping a false god? You got the God of, whatever. Come on. More than Israel is. And that's part of the whole reason why Israel is what Israel is. They are like this archetype of just this struggle that we have personally in our relationship with God, where, how many times on an individual basis has like somebody who is worldly been like, hey man, what are you doing? And you're like, oh yeah, you're right. And that's one of the greatest rebukes you can have. And that's what the Gentiles are for Israel now, as we read about, where we are provoking them to righteousness, basically, because we worship the God they're supposed to be worshiping, and they are not. So there's like a global version of that happening now. So this is not unique. This is going to keep happening over and over and over again, and is happening globally now. Let's back up. Here we go. Famine in the land, they would go down to Egypt. So it's a very, very bad famine. Abram's life is on the line, basically. He has no children. So Egypt is where he finds a safe haven, which is reminiscent of Joseph and his family, his brothers, the other patriarchs of the 12 tribes of Israel. They find a safe haven in Egypt, much like Jesus when Pontius, or whatever his name, Pontius Pilate, Caesar, whatever, brain, I'm not in New Testament right now, I'm in Old Testament mode, is trying to kill everybody to prevent Jesus from, he gets word that there's going to be a new king, and he's like, there ain't going to be no king. So Caesar goes and kills all the firstborn in the land, and Egypt is where they flee to. So it's a common theme. Egypt, the desert, Revelation 12 or 13, whatever it was, that we were reading, where the woman is Israel, from Abraham to Joseph and his brothers to Jesus. The desert is Egypt. You're seeing the meta narrative here. You're seeing how he's seen the whole story and like, oh, it's all piecing together. The woman is not Mary. It's crazy. Thousands of years and church fathers can't figure that out. Back a little bit more. Abram gets into the promised land. He's there. He walks through it, but it's occupied with Canaanites, and they don't get in there for many, 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 many more years. And during that time, we're seeing the giants come in. We're seeing, a lot of stuff happening there. A lot of paganism is just like proliferating in this area. But this, again, harkens back to the curse that Noah had on Ham's son, Canaan, that they are going to be the dispossessed, the servant of servants, the lowest on the rung, you get told what to do, scoot, no honor, no claim to anything. And obviously that's going to cause a whole lot of tension, because Israel also morally does not have the position to ever hold anything for any length of time. So it's just such a wild, again, this meta narrative, this big picture thing that's happening where like these people are cursed to be the lowest, and these people are blessed to be the ones who are served, the possessors, the highest, but they're morally incapable of maintaining worthiness to even have that. And they end up getting conquered over and over again by the worst, by the lowest, by the cursed. It's just like, whoa, dude, you can't make this up. It is so fundamentally human. It's like too human. It's too real. It's just wild when you think about it. It's wild when you think about it. Listen, look, we're going to get back to this. I promise you, we're going to just put a pin in this. And trust me, whatever your psycho alliance to Israel pastor has taught you, and Fox News and all these other wackadoos have taught you, this is nothing to do with what we are doing today. Okay? I will show you. Just wait. There's a chapter coming up in front of this where God harkens back to this. Harken, that was a good word. Anyway, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Read your Bible.